Bombers playing Sydney under lights at the MCG. At the end of round 5, Essendon was sitting in 11th spot on the ladder. A win tonight and they'll be top. The Bombers have been all the rage in recent weeks, and talk of their third flag in a decade is no longer...
Second victory of the season. Essendon looking to go top of the table. Masidi gets it to Long. Calthorpe going nowhere. This is O'Donnell. Hurried kick out wide. Osborne. This is Neal. Close to the boundary line. He boots it down towards the 50-metre line. Wanganeen. Well, terrific mark in front. Cresswell. It seemed tailor-made for Gavin Wanganeen, but Cresswell held the mark. He boots from outside the 50. Going back. Bryce almost got it. It trickles across the line for a behind.
There appears to be a late change out there for the Sydney Swans, with Jamie Lawson's definitely out there. I'm not too sure who's out of the Sydney side at this stage, so we'll keep a check on that.
Harvey goes short to Manton. Only played a handful of games this year, did well last week in a key role on Starcevic. Somerville was the target. Ollerenshaw from half-back. His kick up towards centre wing. Buick, one of the big stars last week, not able to do it. Short kick away by Holmes. Is it out on the full or touch? No, out on the full.
Yeah, it's disappointing finish there by Darren Holmes.
Didn't seem to be under a great deal of pressure as Essendon go up towards centre wing. Holmes again.
Holmes going nowhere. Alessio, good hand pass. Mercury about 60 metres from goal. Now Buick. Buick about 40 metres from goal. Pulls it back across his body down towards full forward. Salmon reduced to the spoiler down there. Lawson waits in front. A little tentative. Gets the hand pass back, but straight to Long from 20 metres out. He snaps. It's close. It's good. Bad mistake in defence. And Sydney are punished.
Well, he was a player we were talking about in the preview. Michael Long, a very exciting player. We see Buick there. They have so many good running players, this Essendon side. Derek Kickett on the forward line. Paul Salmon has been excellent playing either in the ruck or at full forward. And spilling out to Michael Long, and he finished it off. Great skills, Michael Long.
Not sure if Dean McRae's there or not, Bernie. He might be the one that's missing on. I'll keep looking. Stafford to do the ruck work. And Somerville against him. Somerville won the tap. Ollerenshaw taken by Gray. Gray's kick up towards half forward. Minton Connell. And the ball out of bounds. Going in there also was Manton.
Have a looking at that interchange bench. I think Gavin Rose was also there, who was an emergency.
Yep.
So we've seen Lawson. He's definitely out there. Gavin Rose is there also on the interchange, so they're two of the emergencies.
I think Doreen is there as well on the bench. McRae was a very good player last week, so they'll miss him.
Kelly short. Bryce outside 50. Watson on the mark. Bryce's centering kick, not good. Cut off comfortably by Masidi. He's been one of the big kick getters in the competition. Wanganeen, who continues to impress. And so does this man, Long. Gee, he's clever. Thompson, that was just inside the rules, you would think. Holmes with a diving mark, not paid. It was pretty close. He might have been a bit stiff. Alessio over the top, and now he goes for holding the ball. So Alessio getting maybe his last chance to force his way into a finals. Goes to Salmon, and the big fish marks. Bayes is standing him at fullback. And on what we've seen of late, this would test Paul Salmon, but there's not quite the pressure surrounding this game as there has been in other weeks.
No, that's right, Bruce. And Kevin Sheedy certainly trying a few things with Tim Watson playing at centre half back. He lined up at full forward last week against Collingwood.
He'll kick from about 49, Salmon. Geez, timed it well. That's a great kick, straight through. Well, that'll do the confidence a world of good. 43 goals for the season.
Somerville gets it down. Kelly kicks it forward out of the centre. Harvey is up to fist away. Ollerenshaw. Calthorpe's hand pass not particularly good. Back he comes again. He's in trouble, confronted by Osborne. And we'll have a ball up. Alongside the centre circle. Fast start by the Bombers, who lead by 11 points.
Can't see Scott Waters either, Dennis, so he looks like he might have missed out.
He did spend a lot of time on the interchange bench last week.
Yeah, he came off early last week. There's a scramble for you. And a bounce One of their better players of last week, Dean McRae, is out. Scott Watt is one of their best performed on the season, is out. So if it was tough coming in, it's getting tougher. Somerville appear to be pushed in the back. Dunkley, Kelly, a little chip out wide. Bryce goes down towards half forward. It'll pitch an open space and run away from Minton Connell. That's happened a couple of times. He's not happy. And it will be thrown in.
Well, not a good kick either. Misdirected kick into that pocket. Really, they had no chance of scoring anyway.
Right on the 50. Somerville. Very well done. Got it to Wanganeen. Exciting prospect, Wanganeen. He's an established star, more to the point. Gets it to O'Donnell, who drives it down towards half forward. Offhands kick it, missed a half opportunity. It comes behind. Lewis, his shadow, grabs it and boots it out wide. Lawson goes back and takes a good mark.
Fingertipper, wasn't it? Centering the ball. A bad-looking kick. Gets Creswell. Has been quite impressive this year. Handball okay to Lewis, who's got the job on kick it over the top. Daniels under pressure. The handball was very good, though. Long kick there by Neil. Cut off by Masiti. Over the top. O'Donnell sat for him beautifully. Swings it back to Masiti. Caught by Daniels. Ran into trouble. The O'Donnell handball, not really a good one. Didn't have a feel for what was coming up. Dunkley over the top of it. Kelly in there as well. Dunkley trying to fish it out. Oh, well played, Grenville. Snatched it away. Left-hand handball to Ollerenshaw. Ollerenshaw under pressure to O'Donnell. O'Donnell's neat-looking kick finds Derek Kicker. Now, I was going to say he's too far out, but be very careful. Doesn't get onto this one. Poor kick in the end. Brunton has 3 goes at it, misses. Buick looks for a free kick, doesn't quite get it. Opportunity now, and the snapshot is a behind coming from Calthorpe. So the Bombers doing most of the attacking, and they lead 2-1 to a behind.
Yes, he played very well last week too, Calthorpe. An exciting young prospect, only 19 years of age. One of the 6 players to come from the Keeler area.
Bayes, virtually straight down the middle. Masiti, hand passes out in front of his body. This is Neil, plenty of support. Neil, high kick towards half foot. Ill-directed though. Bryce will need to go. He gets across there and gives a contest. Grenville lays it off to Watson. Watson comes away from half-back, boots it back towards midfield. Pitches in the centre square. Dunkley, good evasion to Lawson. This is Neil. He's busy early. Boots it wide and finds Bryce, who drops the mark. He's right on the 50. Time to steady. Kick at goal. Minton Connell from behind. It's touched in front. Slides across the goal face. It was Manton who got his hands to it, and that was timely. And a behind. So Sydney, 2 behinds. Essendon, 2-1.
Harvey to himself now with a bit of time. Now, obviously,
I don't think he went far enough, Bruce.
Kick it away far enough, no, and it's going to be a bounce down.
He did not kick it far enough. No way, Mark Harvey not happy with it. Actually, I thought initially he wasn't far enough, Dennis.
It's a silly rule, though. Let's make it 20 metres and get done with it.
So the bounce, Somerville using his strength. Bryce was there. Watson fainted a handball, then got a high kick under pressure. Osborne was there, repeating playing his 200. Grenville comes away. Pressure on him. Left foot pass to Mercury. Good mark under pressure from Neil. One of the many young stars for Essendon. Neat looking kick to centre half forward. At the back is Alessio. Holmes in the front spot. The free kick was paid. Lawson took the advantage. Stafford back to Lawson. Lawson's neat looking drop punt to half forward. Bryce caught underneath it. Watson with a bit of time now. Left-hand handball good to Ollerenshaw. Ollerenshaw stops, props, and then perfect kick really to Alessio at half forward. Went to play on, slipped over, and now has a second chance.
Kicks it down towards the 50. Salmon comes out, but sliding in front Lawson, or rather Lewis. This is Holmes. Bayes now. Bayes up through the middle. Probing kick towards half forward. Interesting duel this early. Bryce had been marked by Watson. Well played. Minton Connell slaps it back towards Bryce. Coming through is Thompson. This is Masiti. Slaps it across to support Wallace. In trouble. Thompson confronted. Gets the hand pass off. Simon's kick. Lunging attempt at the mark. He did very well. The skipper.
Actually, Dennis, Tim Watson now off the ground, and he's been replaced by Dean Wallace. He'll probably be picking up Paul Bryce, I would think.
Somehow Kelly.
2-1-1-2 on the 7 Sports scoreboard. Ollerenshaw has had some touches from the centre. Masiti to O'Donnell. O'Donnell to kick it. Tried the half volley, couldn't quite. Tapped away. Opportunity for Gray to Higgins. Higgins from half-back. Onto that familiar left foot. He's normally a good kick. Measured that one into the centre. Bryce, the Osborne handball, not good to Bryce. Attacking at Grenville, well played. Then the handball, not good. Lawson probably should have got a free kick. Lewis on the up, good take. Nice looking kick in front of Minton Connell. Will it sit? With him, Manton. Minton Connell just paddling for the moment. Manton with him. Well played, Minton Connell. Left foot, a good one, right to the square. Puts Thompson under enormous pressure. Opportunity for Mooney. What's happened here? Behind? All clear. Should have goaled in the end. Had more time than he knew.
He did have a bit of time, Bruce, didn't he? Mooney, who started, as I said, at centre-half back last week.
Good kick by Minton Connell under pressure. Right there. Harvey to bring it back in. I think he might go long this time, Dennis.
I think so. And he does. And wide to boot. 4 points the difference. Well, he may have made another error. That's 2. 2 out of 2. Harvey at the present time. As Lawson comes in short, intended for Osborne. Over the top, Grenvold. O'Donnell's hand pass, a little too casual. Mercedes hacks it out of mid-air. Made the best of an awkward situation. Werner close to the boundary line, can't keep it in. He's going to get a free kick. He was held without it. Against his old club, he plays on from the first row of seats and will have to go back. So Michael Werner, right on the wing. And Sydney getting plenty of the ball in this opening term. He kicks it down towards the 50. Bryce in front. Wallace over the top. Thumps it out of bounds. And the throw in. Wow, Paul Bryce already bruised and scarred. And probably it won't get any easier in that respect on Dean Wallace. Somerville directs it down. O'Donnell, Mercedes, Ollerenshaw. The youngsters get back to work in defence. The kick not particularly good coming out. Mercury's over it. Somerville. And now O'Donnell with some time. He needed most of it. He kicks it out wide. Back goes long. Can he control it? No, he can't.
It'll be a good duel out there, Dennis, with those two. Jamie Lawson playing on Michael Long. Both speedsters. Very clever players.
Long really has been one of Essendon's very best in recent weeks, and they've had a few. Daniels caught, ripped away from it by Mercury. Handball by Stafford, taken by O'Donnell, getting a lot of kicks up to half forward. Simon's there with Werner. Werner, who will be extra motivated again tonight. He kicked 6 the last time these two clubs played against one another. In a more defensive role tonight, Lawson running it out. It's been in and out this year, Lawson. Hasn't had the best of seasons. Somerville, Stafford. Somerville won the tap. Kelly got his hands on it. Neal's left foot kick under pressure, not good. Ollerenshaw's had an exciting introduction into footy. Wanganeen to Harvey. Harvey with a bounce. Onto his left side. Chip kick not good. Lewis, oh gee, should have done better. Kick it couldn't quite. Salmon tapped it forward. Tap back. Buick had an opportunity. Then taps it forward cleverly to Simon. Should give the handball off. Here's the chance for Cowthorpe. In trouble now. Caught and gone for holding it. Sydney's free kick. Lewis sweeps a handball out wide to his captain Kelly.
And Kelly kicks wider still. Set the big man Stafford a task here. He knocks it on some 15 metres. Well done.
Actually, he looks very promising.
Yeah.
Greg Stafford. Last week was very good in that last line of defence for the Sydney Swans against St Kilda.
And on the ball against Everett too, I think he made his mark. Everett, a player of great promise, but he more than matched him. So something to smile about for the Swans. Somerville went down. Over the top, O'Donnell having a marvellous year. Close to the boundary line. Fumbling a bit at the present time. Upended, puts it out of bounds on the full. And Gray will take the resultant free kick, or will it be Kelly? It's Kelly. 1-3 to 2-1. And Sydney very competitive to start this game. Kelly, who never gives up. Down towards half forward. Bryce juggles it offhand. Still he goes. Grenvold hugs the boundary line with a kick. This one stayed in. Kelly on his knees, rakes it back in. He's got problems. Brunton can't control it. It's out of bounds.
Symbolic of his attitude then, wasn't it?
Yep.
Under great pressure, threw himself at it, realised he couldn't hold the footy underneath, got rid of it in a legitimate way. Job well done by the captain. Buick missed it. Brunton. Little left footer, under pressure. Good mark in the end by Dunkley. He had to throw himself at it. Comes up with blue all over his arm from the logo of the sponsors. Kelly getting plenty of touches. Slow handball to Higgins. Back to Kelly. Breaks the tackle. Draws the player. Higgins on his wrong side. Little chip, okay. Gray takes it in the pocket. Sydney with a promising start here. 2-1.
He was one of the impressive players last week, actually. Troy Gray had a real go. He's got a bit of spirit about him.
And his debut last year, just 20 years of age. Thompson with a long one, going to Alessio.
Over the top, couldn't hang on. This is Lawson, close to the boundary line. Feeds it back inside to Holmes. Sweeping hand pass to Lewis, who's confronted there by Kickett and brought down. Great tackle. And now Long's got it. Paid a free kick. Plays on immediately. Harvey. Just the defensive side of the centre circle. Harvey's away. Low trajectory kick towards half-forward. Beautiful pass. Mercury on his chest. 70 metres from goal. Pops it over the top. Losing his marker was Buick. Slipped away. And he's been able to claim this one about 40 metres out directly in front.
Somerville coming off for Essendon and Tim Watson coming back on. We'll see one of the very, very impressive young Essendon players, Mark Mercury. And that's not Lawson's man. Lawson's playing on Michael Long.
Darren Buick goes goalward. I think he's missed in most uncharacteristic fashion. That number's kicked a few goals for the Bombers over the seasons. Ron Evans, Alan Noonan. Phil Carman, I think, wore number 8. There's Tuddenham. The point that time to Buick, who's kicked plenty himself. Bayes brings it in, 1-4 to 2-2. Down went Lawson. Holmes has got it. This is Daniels. Through the middle he comes, gets it to Gray, who boots it down towards half-forward.
Wanganeen having one arm held. Creswell against him, free kick to Wanganeen. He's played a lot of footy for a 20-year-old. Remembering he played in a premiership at Port Adelaide before coming here to Melbourne. Here's Harvey. He's been shifted from fullback. Neat-looking kick, Mercury. Takes on Neil. Ball handling good. Inside, very good to Grenvold from about 70 metres. Centering kick, Lewis takes a chance. He's done that a couple of times tonight.
He's playing very well on Derek Kickett.
And he kicked that very well to Neil, who sweeps the handball to Osborne. Osborne on the front. And do you reckon Aussie's got a chance from here? Drop, punt, hooks it, gets the distance, and scores a behind.
So if he gets a sniff of those goals, look out, Richard Osborne.
That would have been a lifter, wouldn't it, on the run like that?
It certainly would have been. He's kicked 448 career goals, Richard Osborne.
He's had a very good career. Fitzroy 5 times their leading goal kicker. There's Long. Good kick to Ollerenshaw. Gap starting to open up now.
Ollerenshaw gets by Doreen and boots it in towards centre half forward for his side. It runs free behind. Bayes did well getting back, sensing the danger. This is Simons. Simons flicks it across to O'Donnell. Salmon, the hand pass is good. Mercury feeds it out wide. Ollerenshaw now just inside the 50. Pulls it back, intended for Kickett. He stays out of the contest, but reads it off hands and gets a goal. Well, good vision. And Essendon increased their lead.
One spot, play on called. Long, brilliant to Kickett. Kickett with a bounce through centre wing, a second bounce. Then goes with a long drop punt. Buick at the back. Gee, good kick. Buick couldn't quite hold it. Watson. Still Watson. Back to Buick. We're back in from here. But, well, it was accurate enough, but Holmes able to get back Watson's man and take the mark after Watson had made the handball. Here's Holmes coming away. Go on, Dennis, say something about Watson and Holmes, please.
Well, it's a duel to savour, isn't it, eh? Holmes and Watson.
Doreen short to Stafford. You've been waiting 18 minutes to say that. Doreen again through the centre. Up towards centre half forward. Big fly by Minton Connell. Wanganeen goes to ground, but the rubber man always picks himself up. Lovely kick to Harvey. Streams through the centre and finds Watson.
Holmes on the mark. Hand pass comes out wide. Manton slips over. Watson's got it again. Forward of the wing. Pulls it back inside the 50. Kick it goes up. Juggled it, did he? He's paid.
Yes, have to pay that. A good effort there from Derek Kickett. Very good last week against Collingwood.
Well, Lewis is working hard, certainly.
Well, Lewis has had a bit of the ball, Dennis, hasn't he?
Yes, he's done well out of the back pocket, but the irony might be that Kickett finishes the term with 2 goals.
Well, he doesn't need too many touches, Derek Kickett, to be a very damaging player.
Back him to kick this one, although he's taken a pretty hard fall there. He's kicking from about 45 metres out. Shuffles in. Looks pretty good. No, I think he may have missed to the right-hand side. He has. Kick it. He's bleeding from the mouth. 3-3, plays 2-5.
Bays, who a short time ago was attacking when he kicked the ball to Minton Connell. A lovely kick again, out wide. At the back was Salmon. Holmes. Clever, but not a good kick in the end. Creswell got a reasonable bounce. Wanganeen to run him down. High kick around his body. Dunkley and Harvey. Harvey fists it away. Denham running against the tide. Ran into Manton. Manton trapped it. Gave away a handball. Masiti got rid of it very well. Thompson. Short to Oller and Shaw. Lots of touches for Oller and Shaw. 12 in fact in this opening term. Somerville getting ready to come back on. Mercury. Free kick against Neil. Sweeps the handball. Denham, it sits. He's got a yard and a half, or a metre and a half, I should say. Neat looking kick over the top of Buick. Alessio. This will test the big fella. Oh, well played. Buick brings it back to kick it. With him was Lewis. Went to ground. This will be hard for Stafford. Long sweeps through. Mercury. The handball, he just had to wait a little bit. Salmon. They're trying to set it up like a game of chess now. Mercury straightens up, goes bang and puts it through. Well done, Bombers. Good team sense. Threw it around, under pressure, got the best.
Plenty of possessions in that opening term, but the finish by the Bombers far more precise. Salmon's hand pass came back towards Long. He couldn't control it. Kelly with dash. Oh, terrific stuff. Paul Kelly, high kick through centre wing, down towards the half-forward line. It pitches just inside the field of play and runs away from Grenvold.
7 kicks, 4 handballs for Kelly. Grenvold sailing along smoothly until that serious knee injury a couple of seasons ago, and he's right back here holding his place in a very good team. Salmon's left hand fist away. Long, clever to Denham. Denham running onto it on his right side this time. The centering kick. Good mark taken by Werner. Only man who really attacked it. A couple of the others were trying to position themselves.
I must say, Bruce, I prefer Richard Osmond playing out of the goal square. He looks all at sea playing at half forward.
Werner's kick, big fly by Dunkley at the back. Harvey, Lawson to sweep on him. Harvey relaxed a bit there. Long comes in. Oh, bit of magic. Slow handball in the end. Grenvold weaves his way into the centre. Mercury didn't take it completely cleanly. Kick it provides the lead. Mercury's going to try and kick it down his throat. Oh, good kick. Kicker went early. It was not quite paid.
No, he didn't hold it.
Oller and Shaw. Now Lewis. In trouble, goes to ground, high tackle, free kick. Bit lucky, fell over. Mercury grabbed him a bit high.
He's doing pretty well though, Dale Lewis, coming in for kick number 6.
And another neat one, 2 centre half forward. The big ruckman forward, Salmon gets underneath it, gives it away to Masiti. Little chip okay. Oller and Shaw, we saw his stats at quarter time. He's about to improve on that now.
He stayed on the same wing too, this broadcast side, as he boots it towards half forward. Off hands, it was taken by Calthorpe. They got a quick hand pass away to Denham, who pulls it back, intended for Buick. Lovely kick. And Buick takes the mark on the lead about 25 metres from goal.
There's Darren Buick. He's already kicked 34 goals for the season, to be second to Paul Salmon, who has kicked 40. He kicked one in that first quarter, Bruce?
He's got 43
43 for the season, that's right.
Buick playing more and more as a forward pocket specialist of late.
Turns 26 in a fortnight's time. Darren Buick has been a terrific servant for the Bombers. Comes in and threads it through. 5-3 plays 2-7. Bomber Thompson to bring it back in.
Goes towards Michael Long. Not a good kick. Lawson chips it in front. Long with him. Goes to ground. Lawson all over the top of him. Real battle there between the two. Long wins a free kick, deservedly. Harvey runs away. Essendon with a big break here. Harvey's centering kick. Buick the target. Taken by Calthorpe. O'Donnell. Lewis chops off the kick at lead. Wasn't Kickett's fault that time. To Holmes. Holmes out wide. Brunton. Second attempt, but a neat mark. Chip pass to Bryce, who's Sydney's outstanding forward so far. I know Minton Connell's kicked a couple, but Bryce has been the man. Now Minton Connell on a long lead. Manton with him. Still Manton, good footy to Denham. Denham back towards the centre of the ground. Brunton fell over. Holmes doing all right. Comes away with it. Watson in pursuit. Holmes goes towards centre half forward. Wanganeen wins the ball in the front spot. Couldn't take it away. Osborne tried to fall on top of it and barged it across the line with Grenvold. It'll be a throw in. Richard Osborne, 200th game tonight. Congratulations. 187 of them with the Lions. Another Lion playing his 200th ex-Lion tomorrow in Gary Pert.
Salmon taken high, that hurt. Away comes Harvey, boots it towards midfield. Alessio's the target, couldn't hang on. It falls in front, Bays. This is Werner. Oop, Neil left it behind, now they've got problems. Well done by Neil. Olrenshaw, though, gets it across to Calthorpe. It was a clever handball. Mercury hand passes to his own advantage. Hasn't got it now, must get the free kick. But Sydney applied good pressure and slowed the Bombers there. Kick towards half forward. Kickett still had time to get away. Kickett kicks for space and Calthorpe. Dangerous situation for Sydney. Good use of the body by Watson. Calthorpe goes goalward and gets it. Great stuff by Tim Watson. Good vision by Derek Kickett. 6'3", plays 2'7".
Calthorpe, another very promising young Essendon player. Only 19 years of age. And a real goer, as we saw last week against Collingwood. Did everything right, really put in. Another one of the players that comes from the Keeler area. And 6 of those in the Essendon side.
6'3", 2'7". Calthorpe with his goal. O'Donnell round his body to centre half forward. Oh, good mark in the front spot by Mercury.
Stafford with a big job, Bruce, coming up against Paul Salmon. In the ruck, he was very good last week, as we said, Stafford, but up against Salmon, just lacking the height to go with him.
Alessio, good mark. Got the front spot on Bays, has a height advantage, stuck up the big paws, and it's stuck.
Yes, it's very tough for the Sydney Swans defenders, going with Alessio 199 centimetres, and Salmon's 206 centimetres.
Somerville, the other big man, you just
also
wonder, don't you?
198 centimetres.
You wonder if they'll be able to play the 3 come finals time in the one team. Goal to Alessio. He'll be happy with that. It's his first match back since round 15. And as I said earlier, it's probably his chance tonight. If he really stars, he's got a chance of playing in the finals.
Yes, I don't know about the 3 big men in the finals, Bruce. I think they'll be struggling with the 3 tall men. Of course, if they leave one on the interchange, I suppose they can get around it that way. See the mark there by Alessio, well done. And what a pick-up he was. He just walked in off the street at Essendon and said, could I have a training run? And that's how he started his AFL career.
Well, I guess the Swans wish he'd got lost in Paddington. Salmon goes up and thumps it down towards centre half forward. Missed down there by Neil. Mercury again. Long kick down towards full forward. It's off target. So it goes for a behind. So testing time now for the Sydney Swans. 7-4, 2-7. So the margin is 27 points. Still, if you learn from experience, they've been here before. Bays, broadcast side. Rose tries to knock it on. Meantime, there's a free kick to Salmon. Advantage is paid Olrenshaw, who's been terrific. Must be so exciting for Kevin Sheedy. Some of these young players just emerging, and emerging so quickly. They're not just playing senior football, they're dominating games. Salmon centres it. Watson from behind gets a fist on it. Buick, it should have gone to Denham. Denham finishes up with it. Watson sold back into trouble. Werner now with some time. Well, that's interesting. And Rose escorts it across the boundary. Had Rose not been there, the umpire may have had a decision to make.
Throw the ball in.
Regardless, you reckon?
Regardless.
Oh, well, actually,
they do that all the time these days. I haven't seen too many deliberate paid.
Werner had an excuse because the ball was flat.
Okay.
Can't kick this. So, we've got a new ball at the MCG. Not the first time. And we'll have this throw in about 25 metres around from the behind post. 7-4, 2-7. Alessio's in front. Rose comes from the side. It falls at their feet. Werner starts proceedings again, gets it to Bays, to Brunton. Back to Bayes, look out, goes over the top. Lawson's got it, but Lawson's shepherd initially.
I think he may have been holding on to Michael
Yes.
Long. That's what the umpire, well spotted by the umpire there, David Howlett. Jamie Lawson, no complaints. He knows he was caught red hot.
Well, kick it, meters in the clear. Oops, had to earn it. Turns around, bounces off his opponent, runs into an open goal and spots a man and finds him, Simons. And that is the difference.
Yeah, you're right, Dennis. Absolutely correct there. The finish of this Essendon side is excellent. Michael Simons, who spent a bit of time on the interchange bench. As we see this in replay, Alessio coming off to be replaced by Somerville. Michael Simons, as I said, had a little bit of a spell on the interchange as we placed Derek Kickett in the forward pocket.
Simons, it's a pretty lively customer, comes in and kicks a goal. Mooney had his chance at one end. Simons makes sure of his at the other. 9-5, 3-10. It was interesting the way Watson got the ball down to Calthorpe. Watch this one.
Yes, Tim on the lead. I think that may have been intentional. I don't think he went for the mark in the end, Timmy Watson, but that's experience because he's been around for a long time.
In front, Simons, it's a bit of a thief.
He's great overhead. Great overhead, Michael Simons. Just a little nudge over the top of the former Essendon player there in Michael Werner. Simons 180 centimetres and Werner 188, so distinct height advantage there in favour of Werner.
Good young player. Simons gets the goal. His second.
Before trying to centre the ball because this turnover very costly. And Big Alessio on the end of that kick from Tim Watson marking out in front of Mooney.
Important kick this one. Not a reputed goal scorer. Kicks from about 49 metres out. It's a shocker. They've got no numbers down there though, Sydney. In front, Simons has taken the mark. Well, that really is unforgivable. To give the opposition a one-out contest so close to goal and a good aerialist like this young man. Bombers have got to work to get down there instead of perhaps just standing near the man who's kicking the ball back near the middle.
Well, he'll have to go for the banana kick also, Dennis.
And he comes, and that's not bad either. Well, Bayes did it in the previous quarter from the opposite.
Back again, Michael Simons in front of Werner.
Great chance for the Bombers. Thompson can come in, can measure it, stabs at goalwood and puts it through. Big goal.
It's goals on the board as we see Michael Long just scooping that back. A little clever tap back there. And Mark Thompson, plenty of room there. Was able to run in, take his time, one bounce. Under no pressure whatsoever. Back on. Let's have a look at the replay of this. A good attempt there by Simons getting back and spoiling Werner. A pretty ordinary hand pass over the top there. Timmy Watson dashes through. And Alessio is about 40 metres from the nearest Sydney Swans.
Kick Long easily through. I just wonder, Bernie, when you see him kick like that, why he goes so short every now and then.
Yes, at times I think he's just trying to bring his teammates into the game on occasions when he really should kick long, Michael Long. But here we see this very good kick from about 45 metres. As Bruce said, he did time that perfectly, travelled about 50-55 metres. And Michael Long's had a very good duel on the wing.
Battling Alessio. Lewis to ball kick it likewise. Back came Buick, deftly done, got it to Long. Watson from 40, puts it through for a goal. And with that kick, Tim Watson becomes the 11th player to kick a goal tonight for the Bombers. By contrast, Sydney have only 4 players.
So they always seem to be able to answer the challenge there, yes, on the side. Got the players on the forward line with the skills and the capability of answering the challenge from the Sydney Swans. Michael Long, clever tap out, and Tim Watson kicking his first goal.
He's done well in the last quarter, Watson. Took some good touches.
So it's 21 points. That would have been nice to pull it back to 16. That would have been, I think, a fitting finish. But the Bombers, as we said, haven't had it easy tonight as Buick centres it to Thompson, and I would think Essendon and Kevin Sheedy are happy that's over tonight. The Sydney Swans made trouble a few sides in the run home, if in fact they're not taken seriously. A little banter passes between Long and Lawson. They had a good duel tonight, in fact many good duels on this ground. The Swans came to play. They fell behind in the second.
18-9, 117. Buick and Simons each booted 3 for the Bombers. Sydney 13-18, 96. Simon Midden-Connell just about a game only. And Essendon, well, they're sitting at the top of the tree. And if you go back just